Come out to the bar.
Hello YouTube, cheers and welcome to The Basement. My name is Bruce Lively.
And I'm D-Boy Slim.
And The Basement Debates is the first exclusive hip-hop debate format. Every Tuesday and Friday, we tackle the most intriguing topics in hip-hop culture and the world around it. So, welcome back, Basement family. We did this before, it's a brand new year, and we're on show number 3 of our 4-part program, which is the top 5 or best of 2018. Today is show number 3, best album of the year from 2018. So this is a special one. Instead of a top 5 albums of 2018, we're going to debate those people who left those messages on the last show. I said, tell us who you want to be the best, and we'll try to incorporate it into the show. And My Tribe TV All Out Attack said Nipsey Hussle, Victory Lap. And Victoria Piaget said J. Cole, K.O.D. So guess what? That's the 2 we're going with, and we're going to debate it. What do you guys think? With that being said, let's go. Yeah, man, this is a good one. Now, of course, we're going to have some honorable mentions. We are talking about the best album, but it's not going to be top 5. We got Victory Lap versus K.O.D.
Listen,
Who you got?
all day, Nipsey Hussle, Victory Lap. And that's kind of been my thing since the album dropped. It was my thing 2 or 3 months after the album dropped. And now that we're clearly into 2019, that's who, I choose as the album of the year. I'm thankful that we have such a smart and intelligent fan base that recognizes and we're on the same page as far as taste in music and in agreement that Nipsey Hussle, to me, and Bruce would debate why he thinks his choice is better, or who he thinks come close or is better than Nipsey Hussle, or better than the album Victory Lap. But I'm just going to give a couple of reasons as to why, to me, Nipsey Hussle had the best album of the year. One, musically. I know a lot of times you hear this guy give you terms like sonically and, frequency and, all these fancy terms for music. But truthfully and honestly, on this particular album, I cannot think of one in recent times that's equivalent or matches the consistency of track for track, song for song, as far as the quality of music that was selected and chosen for this album. Now, obviously, I'm going to get into why, to the rhymes and the raps and the flow, but just starting off, I just want to get that out the way. The music was, I went through it before we got on, and I forgot people like CeeLo blessed the album. Puff Daddy, P. Diddy was on the album. Obviously, Kendrick Lamar was on the album. Those were features. And CeeLo sang a hook. He didn't rap on there. It was the singing CeeLo, which we appreciate just as much.
You got to.
Yeah, man. I mean, it just thorough, or from top to bottom. Nipsey, he really put together something classic. It was really something special. The rapping wise, I love. If you ask me right now, Nipsey is probably one of the best, if not the best. I may argue, I know the consensus is, some argue Drake, Cole, or Kendrick. I know what everybody's is the consensus, but there's you got to put this guy in the conversation by now. You got to. If not, for what he says when he raps, but how he's doing it. The guy does it with no major cosigns. There is no major label such as a Young Money or Dr. Dre backing him.
I think when Jay-Z bought 100 of his albums for $100 a piece, that was pretty much cosign as you could get.
Well, that's saying that Jay-Z believes in the kid. He's not signed to Rock Nation as like J. Cole was
Isn't he signed with somebody? Weren't they having those negotiations last year?
There's been negotiations.
He signed with somebody, got some distribution, which not bad.
It's been negotiations.
You guys let us know. I can't do the research on that right now because we're here.
Nip is not signed to a major label. And at this point, I wouldn't understand why
he would, right?
Yeah. So again, if not for what he says, how he's going about it is unparalleled. It's unparalleled. So you haven't seen in somebody. And also, again, like I said, if you ask me right now who was the best rapper or who one of the best rappers out right now, this generation currently relevant, Nipsey is his name is coming up, and it should come up in everybody's top 5 or whatever list, but his name is coming up. The kid continues to go about this music game in his own way, on his own terms, and you feel it through the music when he breathes it through his music. He's comfortable, and like I said, the music selection that he selects for the album is top notch, A1. But the rhymes that he puts on top of it, I don't think anybody can match the eloquence that he puts his real life experiences with onto that good music. You'd be hard pressed, because people say, "Oh, Drake sings too much." Kendrick has a fast delivery, which Kendrick, you have to hear that song with Kendrick and Nipsey, and you would have to tell me who had the better verse. But there's no lack of substance anytime you hear a Nipsey Hussle verse, and I love that about his raps. Anything from being a young black business mogul to educating us about Dr. Sebi. It was all on this album. And like I said, you'd be hard pressed telling me somebody who has more substance,
well,
the music to match it, and the flows that complete an album, such as a classic like Victory Lap. Now, let's see what Bruce has to say.
When you say it has more substance, no, I won't say that. Just as much substance, of course, we're talking about KOD by the one J. Cole. The difference is there's two ways of telling a story. There's two ways of making a statement. One is satirical, the other is in your face. The other is just truth, biographical, okay? So Nipsey's entire album is a biographical survey of his life, of a life around him, and other things, Dr. Sebi. All of these things. This is good, and it belongs up there amongst the best. What I really like is satirical stories. The entire album, KOD, is a satire of the life.
Plus, that doesn't know that fancy term.
What that is taking a subject, putting yourself in the middle of it, and showing its pitfalls as something good. But when you're doing it in a way that's biographical, I think it's a little bit easier than when you're doing it in a way that's satirical. Satire, to me, takes a little bit more writing. Satire, to me, takes a little bit more creativity. But fine, I could be wrong, because there's a lot of people who do both just fine. On another note, I'm a fan. Victoria Paige, I'm a fan. I'm not just saying this because you said KOD. I'm a fan of people who do introspective, heartfelt music. When you're talking about being, one of my favorites is Eminem. How you wear your heart on your sleeve, meaning you talk about the bad, you talk about the embarrassing. A lot of times you can talk about how hard it was growing up, but you never mention the time that you lost that fight. You never mention the time you got slapped in the back of the head, the embarrassing parts. You never mention the time that your mom wasn't such a good mom. You never mention that time. You talked about the things that everybody knows about. That's a hard upbringing. But when you have your heart on your sleeve and you're willing to talk about the mistakes that you made, I love that type of rap. I love that type of rap because it relates to real normal people like me. I don't hustle all the drugs. I don't have my own building. But guess what? I've made a lot of mistakes that I've learned from. And to know that someone like J. Cole has made those mistakes, I love it. And I think a lot of people love that. A lot of people need that. I think that's what art is for. Let's get to some of the songs like ATM, where he's laughing. He's laughing at the money culture of today. That's why this album belongs in your top 5, your top 3, or your number 1. When the number 1 problem we have in hip hop is the drug use being promoted and the fact that money is replaceable with skill. You can just say I have $1 million and all of a sudden that means you don't have to rap anymore. You can mumble all you want. He tackles that head on satirically. His first verse, he talks about how he needs the money. He won't be the same without the money. And in the video, you see a guy coming after his money, a big hand, and he's holding it for dear life while it's killing him. That's satire.
That's satire.
And it's all the way through. It's well written, beats are awesome, and yes, he does have a machine behind him, and I know that's what's coming next. But guess what? Nipsey Hussle can rap. But there's a category that I have when I'm doing my top 50 list. You guys may have seen it a few years ago. We're gonna put it up again. It's called syllabalistic prowess. Syllabalistic prowess means how you say your words, how many words, and how creatively you can put them together. Simplistic rap is good and useful. I believe Nipsey Hussle raps simplistically better than anybody else out right now, period. He doesn't have to do the 2-3 stuff. He doesn't have to rap as fast as everybody else. He doesn't have to put a bunch of meaningless syllables that don't mean anything. A lot of people do that. But syllabalistically, the prowess in which the poet is using these words, J. Cole got him. The whole album, he got him. From the beginning, when he's the only person on the album, no features. He has at least 3 or 4 different voices. He has 6 or 7 different styles. He slows it down, speeds it up, also rhymes on and off beat. You guys know what I'm talking about when I say these things. I always talk about it, but his syllabalistic prowess is second to none. No features, full of substance, satire, creativity. It is one of the best albums of the year, and Victoria Payday, I'm arguing on your side.
Listen,
no, the victory lap.
The thing about Nipsey is that you'd be hard pressed to have an artist that's more vivid than Nipsey.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why you have such vividness is
because of that rap style.
What Bruce alluded to, because he's giving you his reality. He's giving you real life experiences that really occurred. We could debate all day about which style or whatever is more important or whatever the case.
It's a debate show.
One thing about myself personally, I enjoy the music similar to Marvin Gaye and those other classic legendary artists that you can, what makes it classic is that you can pull from it. There's things you can pull from it and live by it. When you're doing that, as a matter of fact, doing it slow, it only makes sense to do that at a certain pace because you don't want that to speed and go over someone else's head. I ain't gonna go over y'all head. But listen, my other thing to that is, if you notice, outside of Nipsey, everybody has conformed, and I sometimes me and Bruce, we play our little music or whatever. We call it the dungeon, the basement or whatever. And I'll be playing my little street raps or whatever. And Bruce will be like, yo, man, everybody got the same tempo, like the same old flow. Let me tell you something.
That's not victory.
What makes Nipsey and this album better, as my man would like this, better. It's better. He's somewhat changing the game. He's changing the climate of the game. Why? Because of he's changing the tempo. Because in 96 and 97, it was okay for Nas, Tupac, Biggie, Snoop, and the ones that came before him, like Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, to rap slow. Everybody wasn't copying each other's. And now, if you notice, even if from Drake to Migos to whomever is the new kid out, they all got a certain tempo. It's all at a certain bounce. Even Jay-Z, like, and that's what, because our ears, as Bruce would like to say, sonically, we've kind of been programmed to that's what's Future did it. He was the master at it. Like, he did it for a while.
Let me say this.
Nipsey, hold on. Nipsey, not that. But it's good music. What can't be denied is that it's good music. I just got in a debate with Bruce before the show about artists being able to songwrite and the ability to choose certain music in your music selection. And this is why Nipsey is the best. He has the better album. And he is probably the best young artist out right now. He goes at his own pace. And the reason being, it's what Bruce just said, is that he's giving you the most info inside of that.
There's other people like Rakim and Cool Modi and those who say many styles. Those of you who understand that there's also an art in being able to change your style to fit anything. Right now, KOD has a lot of similarities with a lot of the trap music.
Have we seen the best of Nipsey?
But wait a minute,
as far as that's concerned?
Me speak. So what I'm saying is,
you didn't finish letting me speak.
No, but we're going back and forth. It's a debate. But I want to talk about that before I forget it. So what the other part of that is, J. Cole was always doing that which Nipsey is doing. He never had the trap beats. He never did the 2-3 style. And this album that he actually showed some of that was in response to it.
But J. Cole has songs where he's just playing with words.
No. But every one of them has substance. Every one of them has substance and is not just playing with words. Don't. He's not just playing with words.
Every one of them don't.
Every one of them does.
The first single that he came out with, he was
ATM?
No,
I'm talking about this album.
It's not ATM. You said throughout his career.
No, so what I'm saying is throughout his career. Throughout his career, what I'm saying is he had the boom baps. He had this stuff. He didn't do the regular trap music that was out and popular during his time when he came out. This album that he came out with is in response to them. So I'm not going to give him a demerit for having trap beats on the album, knowing that for him that is something different. It's just so happy. You see what I'm saying? That is something different. But secondary,
it just means you follow the trend.
No, because he hasn't done that.
That doesn't say, it's something different for him.
It is something
different. Trap beats wasn't popular back when he came.
Yes, it was. That's what he was always been against. But now it's satirical. He's talking about the same money, the same drugs, the same idea. And being satirical, a great way to do that is you use trap beats and talk about the things that they were going to talk about. But turn it on their head. But all I'm saying is, stylistically, that's what's up. Stylistically, you can't get no better than your Nipsey Hussle, writing down everything, rapping slow. But syllabalistically, if you have the exact same substance in your raps and you're able to say more, switch your style up more, to me, that's better. That's better. If you're willing to do
that's
that
a
and have the
debate.
same amount of
They
substance.
say you have the same amount of substance, and like I said, song for song, consistently, Nipsey's never had a song where he's never. You can never. That's why you'll never hear Nipsey just.
I don't know
playing with styles,
just playing with words,
like diggity to the figgity. Like you never hear Nipsey. For example, I'm just saying like maybe DOS effects or something. Where talking about syllabalistic or whatever.
Right.
As if nobody doesn't know what syllables mean.
Of course they know. That's why I said.
Yeah, you never hear Nipsey do that because again, all he's doing is dropping knowledge on you. Period.
So what I'm saying is, when is J. Cole just rap to rap? Just had funny raps. Name me a song. What are you talking about?
The first single he came out with.
What's the name of that single?
As a matter of fact, I'll let you rap.
The first single he ever came out with was just rapping with no substance.
I'll let you wrap it up, and then I'm gonna look up.
Just to wrap up, people. What do you guys think? We Victoria Page, My Tribe TV, All Out Attack. Both of you guys left these two people, and because you were the only two that left those comments, I should say, we decided to go with your people. But what do you guys think? Everybody watching this now, leave it right down there. Who wins this debate? Who had the best album of 2018? Who are your runner-ups? I got Logic, man. I think that was a good one. I gotta go with Drake. That was a good one. His Scorpion double album, crazy. Of course, people are gonna go with Pusha or Kanye and Nas. I don't think any one of them made it to that level for me. But who do you think? Leave it right down there. Let the debate begin with us.
Well, he's gonna get away with this one because I can't find the single that I was thinking about. But yeah, it's been songs. J. Cole
happen.
Simply raps about how he can rap.
Doesn't happen.
And,
well, that's saying I can rap,
and that's cool. Again. And that's where you're able to showcase what he's talking about in syllabalistic and your wordplay, bouncing the flow and whatever the case. Again, I applaud that, the ability to be able to do that. And some people that's important. To me, not so much. You know.
You haven't shown me that song, brother. Until then, I say every song he has substance and meaning. Now, we have a bunch of shout-outs, as we've been saying, but we're going to show them all on a separate show. I was going to do it on the fourth show, but we now have accumulated so much that we're going to have a show where D-Boy Slim and I sit down and respond to all your comments. We're going to do that next Tuesday. And then next Friday, we will have the best battles and battlers of 2018.
We back. We appreciate all the love out there. Keep subscribing. Keep tuning into the shows. It's coming. We on deck 2019.
Peace.